Back of the bus, back at it again with another episode. Your boy, Marcus Too Raw.
What up, though?
And your boy, Josh, a.k.a. JTG. And we got a special guest in here for our Big Ten roundup, Johnny Olden.
Yo, how you doing?
Appreciate you being on, man.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it.
Even though I feel like I'm being jumped today, so I had to throw on the, you know what I mean? I had to throw on the Ohio State jersey today. Y'all ready to get into some Big Ten talk?
Burn that jersey, bro.
Right,
Burn
man,
the jersey.
What are you doing? Ain't seen
Burn
this
the
man
jersey.
in no jersey in weeks.
Burn the jersey?
No,
the jersey?
not the nuts. Not
Burn
the
the
nut
jersey?
necklace. Jesus
Burn the
Christ.
jersey?
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Burn the jersey?
Where did you
What we
find
doing?
it? Where did you
What we
find
doing?
that?
What we doing?
Somewhere he should have left it.
Where did you find that, bro?
What we doing today? I'm gonna take my chain off real quick
Yeah,
for
go
a
ahead.
second, so
Take
we
it
can
off.
talk. So we can talk other games real quick. Let's start off with Minnesota versus Iowa. What y'all got?
Watching Iowa play Northwestern last week, right, and not really being able to get anything going on offense versus the Cats, which is probably the worst team in the Big Ten this year. It doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence for them to be able to do anything versus Minnesota. Minnesota is actually before last week when they slipped up versus, or 2 weeks ago, I think it was, they lost to Purdue. You know, they kind of were working their way back into the West conversation and are still there presently. So it's really going to be ugly, man. It's probably going to be like a 17-10 game, something like that. I don't see either one of them pulling away. If I had to give the edge to somebody, I guess I'd just give it to Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just, you know, probably a little bit of recency bias there, just because I know Ferentz more than I know PJ Fleck. I know Kirk Ferentz can pull out an ugly win like that. PJ Fleck, he's been up and down. So, you know, I guess that's where I would lean on that one. Probably Iowa by a score.
I could agree with that. I think Iowa's going to need to bring back, you know, the defensive big plays. Start getting some heavy picks on Tanner Morgan.
That's
early.
another thing with Iowa, bro. They have not really been good scoring the ball since they stopped getting those turnovers, right? You dry up on all those turnovers that you was getting early on in the season, and you force your offense to actually have to put points on the board. Hasn't really worked out all that well. Yeah, it hasn't worked out all that well. So if they don't get turnovers, that's something that could probably flip it back in Minnesota's favor.
Honestly, with Tanner going against that secondary, I think I would just pick Iowa.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Northwestern versus Wisconsin. I think this is a pretty easy pick. Northwestern really hasn't shown us anything all year. Wisconsin's on the incline, so I think I got Wisconsin in this one.
Yes, sir. Wisconsin with that defense, and now the offense is starting to chip in, and Northwestern is Northwestern this year. Like last year they had a lot of seniors, juniors, so they overachieve. Senior, fourth, fifth year senior in Ramsey last year. This year it's back to Northwestern. So yeah.
Well, I don't understand what it is about Northwestern. It's like they go from 3-win season to Big Ten West champion to another potential 3-win season. Like, how you have a Big Ten title run in between 2 3-win seasons? That's amazing, for real. I don't even know how you do something like that. I'm kind of envious, to be honest with you, because they can find a way to get one in there in a few years. But Wisconsin, win, baby, win. Win, baby, win. Because every notch they take, at least from our perspective, is a notch under Michigan's belt. Because we tore Wisconsin up. The way I'm feeling, I want them to end up in the championship game. Because where that comes into play with us is not only on the strength of schedule side, but if I'm being totally optimistic and I'm looking at, you know, who we could potentially face in the title game, I would love to play a team that we've already beaten by 2.5 scores, 2-3 scores. So, you know, that bodes well. I think Wisconsin just obviously they're in a mode now. They got Ches Malucci going. Mertz looks like he has a pulse all again. Looks like he's playing football again. He's woken up. So I got Wisconsin probably big, 20 points or so.
Yeah, once Wisconsin gets kind of rolling, they can become kind of a scary team to have to play because they always got, Jim Leonard on the defensive side.
Yeah.
He ain't playing. He's a good defensive coach. Honestly, I wish he was our defensive coach, but
Harbaugh wasn't making that call. Yeah, he wasn't making that call. Not over Don Brown. I was actually surprised that he even got a young guy like Mike McDonald. I didn't see that coming from him. I thought he would have gone and got a Marcus Freeman or somebody out of his coaching tree that he trusts. I didn't expect him to go get a rookie head coach. Even at I don't think Mike McDonald was a coordinator in NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
No, so he was assistant.
It's like a linebacker coach or something like that, right? That's not Harbaugh logic, at least from what we've seen so far up to this point. So I was even surprised that he went that young with Mac.
He's stubborn. He's stubborn, so it takes him a long time. Like he has to beat his head against the wall too. He's about to
over and over.
Ryan, like OSU this year when y'all lost to Oregon. Ryan, they didn't wait. He didn't wait weeks to, we got a problem or
no, he fixed that
immediately. Next game, I need a new play caller. I'm not waiting. I don't have time to wait. So that's the difference between coaches. Harbaugh wait.
Moving on to Rutgers versus Indiana. Ugh. Any thoughts on that game?
That's an ugly game to call.
It sure is. But Scarlet Knights got it all day.
Yeah, I'll take Greg Schiano, man. It don't look like Tom Allen got nothing for anybody these days down there in where is it Bloomingdale, something like that. Bloomington. There you go, Bloomington, Indiana. They ain't got nothing coming out of there this year. I still think back at the beginning of the season when people was trying to tell me that Indiana was going to not just beat Michigan, but compete to win the East.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought Indiana would be good. Not sure if they would beat us, but I thought they'd be good.
I thought maybe 7 or 8
Penix was going to continue.
Going to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, especially after last year.
He was a beast last year. Let's not.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it last year is they got a lot of fortunate bounces too. Like the game against Penn State, game against Iowa last year. Like they got a lot of fortunate bounces. I never thought that they were going to win the East. I thought that was ridiculous. I hate when teams have 1 year success. Now all of a sudden they the new number 2 team in the Big Ten. It's like Michigan done had their dreams dashed by Ohio State year in and year out. And I mean, literally dashed. Like if we beat them, we can get to the Big Ten championship. If we don't, we just fishing with the Citrus Bowl or something like that, right? And that's been Michigan's story for the last 6-7 years. But you give Indiana one good year, now all of a sudden they're the number 2 team in the Big Ten. It kills me every year. They try to do it with somebody, PJ Fleck in Minnesota. Oh, maybe they're going to get to the Big Ten championship. Roll the boat. I'm like, man, y'all got to get out of here with that.
You're right. You're right about that. You're right. Rutgers in Indiana, I just see that as Indiana's just devastated with injuries. Like, even when they played us last week, like they probably had like 5-6 players get hurt during the game.
Yep.
Like, and not like quick injuries. Like this dude is laying down there like his career is over. So they dealing with that. Like they on their 3rd string quarterback. And he could be a beast, but his passing, it's just not there. Like, they got that one drive where he basically just QB sneaked and QB powered, and they just ran it, got us one drive. But that's what he's going to have to do. So I don't think Greg Schiano's going to let him do that. They probably win. I don't think they blow him. They might blow him out, but it'll probably be like 20-7 or something like that. Controlled.
Couple scores, something like.
Yeah.
Soft blowout.
I just don't see them scoring enough. Even if Tuttle was able to play, he's a check down king. He going to check it down all game. So that's just what I see for that one.
Yeah, okay. I got Rutgers as well. I don't really see nothing coming out of Indiana. Like I said, it's not looking too good over there.
No,
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate what happened to him, but oh well, it happens. Next up, we got Maryland versus Michigan State. Michigan State after the Purdue loss, looking to probably avenge and hopefully put up some big points against Maryland.
Anytime Mike Locksley lose, it's a good day in this household.
Yeah.
Anytime I get to see Mike Locksley lose, it's a beautiful day. Because Mike Locksley, he always, in September, Mike Locksley is the most confident coach in college football in September. And then he get past that 4-0 record, and it's like, honestly, Scott Frost got extended through next year, right? I was sitting there thinking like, damn, man, Scott Frost really probably need to go. Like, I can't think of another coach who need to go more than Scott Frost. And then I was like, there's one coach. There's one coach. There's one person that's probably worse than Scott Frost right now in the 5-year span. And that's Mike Locksley. I got Michigan State. They're gonna be looking to come out and try to prove people different, right? They went out there and they lost 2-score game to an unranked Purdue team, which I don't think it wasn't like people didn't see that loss coming. But again, you are what the results of the game was, right? They weren't ranked. You were ranked number 3. You were square in the playoffs. You laid an egg. So now they got to do some damage control. They got to look better this week. They got to really put something on Maryland to show the committee and show the rest of the voters that, hey, look, that was a slip up. You know what I'm saying? Now we a 1-loss team, just like in Oregon, just like in Ohio State, just like in Michigan. And we're going to show that we can dominate the rest of the season. The one thing they got to look out for is the look ahead, because they do have, Ohio State the following week. If they stay focused, right, you'll probably have to parry Tua and Locksley for about a quarter and a half. If you can withstand the run that you get from them early, maybe first force a turnover or so, you'll have them for the rest of the game. So I got Michigan State.
Yeah, on that one, and you made a good point with the them playing Ohio State game. So it's it could be a trap game for them.
Yep.
And with that being said, like the Big Ten East, it's just it's heavy. Like it's coming down to the end, and it's heavy for all of us. Like all the top teams, like it's heavy. Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Michigan. It's heavy for us. So like I kind of take two ways for this game. Like just on Michigan State for what they're dealing with. Like you got the high of beating Michigan. You too high. Like you won the Super Bowl. Like you won the Super Bowl the week before. You didn't win nothing but the Paul Bunyan. Now you going to Purdue and you get handled pretty handedly. Now, like, okay, we don't know if they're gonna be able to get off the mat. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't know that. Like Mel Tucker, he talks a good game and he seemed hard nosed and like that, but this is a new team, really. You know what I'm saying? So they got up for us, got hit in the mouth by us. They pulled it out. Purdue hit him in the mouth, knocked him out. Now, what are we gonna see from them? So I'm kind of because Maryland, like you say, if they get up or if they stay in the game and they turn it into a 4-quarter game, we really don't know how much Michigan State really has. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Are they going to end up being good, or are they looking towards Ohio State already? And Maryland hits them in the mouth again.
Yeah.
I guess I would take Michigan State, but I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching that one close. I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to be checking on them.
Okay. All right. Leading into the Purdue Ohio State game, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little concerned about Aiden O'Connell and David Bell. I don't like that connection at all. It's possible they might put up another 200-yard game out of that. But I think, in a close one, I think we'll take it.
So let me ask you something.
Okay.
How many carries do you expect to get out of Travion Anderson this week?
Oof. It's going to have to be a lot.
Anything less than 25, y'all lose.
I don't see it being less than 25.
If he don't get 25 carries, or okay, let me say this. He doesn't get 25 touches. He doesn't get 25 touches, y'all lose.
Y'all give him the ball that much?
Not in the last, couple games?
I don't get it. Like they clearly lack a running game, but have a running back that can go from 0 to 100 in the blink of a second, but they don't give him the ball consistent. They fall in love with the passing game. I don't know if that's just a thing of Ryan Day. So here's what I like to point out to people, right? Like we was just talking about Harbaugh's philosophy of playing the game or whatever, ball control. And I think the main staple of that is limiting the possessions on the other side, right? For the opposite offense. So what Ryan Day's thing is that it's kind of inverted, it's flipped. It's I'm going to have so many offensive possessions because I move so quickly that if I score at the same rate that you scoring at, I'm a win because I have more possessions. Right? It's the complete opposite of hardball ball. But the problem with that with Ryan Day is that if you're not in rhythm and your receivers and your quarterback are not on the same page, or you've had a couple turnovers, then those drives, right, you're not used to sustaining long drives. So people could be putting you in another team could be putting you in a bad position just by making you drive the length of the field. They don't even really have to take the ball away from you in that instance because you're accustomed to getting 70 in 3 plays as opposed to 14.
Yeah.
So that could be a thing with Ryan Day in the inverse of what we talking about with Harbaugh. I hope they run the ball, man, because y'all got a back to do it.
Yeah.
I think if y'all don't establish a running game and y'all get into a passing contest with Purdue,
yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Like y'all have the better talent. They're just more accustomed to playing like that, I feel like.
And Aiden O'Connell and David Bell versus our DBs doesn't sound like a fun game to watch for me.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job against Reed and Naylor last week. So yeah. I'm interested to see this game, man. I really am. Because it's not just well, if Ohio State plays bad, then Purdue could get them. Nah, Purdue could get them. They could beat them regardless of how Ohio State's playing, even at 6-3. So, or what are they? Is it 6-3 or 5-3? Something like that. 6-3. Even at 6-3, they can compete. So I'll let you pick the. Oh, you already said that y'all was gonna win, right? You already said that.
Of course.
Where's the game played at?
It's at Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's in the shoe.
Y'all can lose there. We saw that this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to say, me being a Michigan fan, I want to say Purdue go get it. I want to say it so bad, but in my heart, I really don't believe it.
Yeah.
But they got some that you need to try to take on at Ohio State. Bell is playing like one of the best receivers, if not the best in the country right now. Like what he's doing, I love to see, and I wish our receivers would do this. He will kill you just his first 2 steps. You got work, bro. You got worked. Like, so I like what I see out of him. So if he's able to not only get catches, but get in the end zone, then I give them a bigger chance. But I'm expecting Ohio State to probably win somehow, whether they get assistance from the refs or whatever. Because
not over here. Not over here.
Y'all got lucky last week that when Nebraska got that ball and that no call on pass interference, it was obvious.
Not even that. They tried to get a ball back. At least Stroud did on the pump fake with a minute left to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, if you don't throw that ball out of bounds, that's another thing too. I haven't really watched too much of Purdue's defense. I watched them play Notre Dame, and they played pretty good most of that game. But then in the fourth, they ended up giving some long touchdown scores. If they can cut out the big plays that they give up from time to time and get pressure on Stroud, because that's the key to beating him. I can see that already. That's the key to beating him. That's why I'm licking my chops for Thanksgiving weekend, boy, because that's the antidote to their offense is to speed up his clock. If Purdue can speed his clock up, they're gonna have a chance, man. I'm gonna say Ohio State begrudgingly by a field goal.
Ooh,
by a field goal, not even a touchdown.
All right, it's gonna be a close one for sure. Got no doubts about that. With all that said, Michigan versus Penn State. I'm going to let y'all just take it. I know who I got winning. I'm going to let y'all take it.
Well, I go real quick. From this game, I mean, it's Michigan, Penn State. It's going to be on Michigan side, Cade, because I don't think we're going to be able to run on them. Like I said that in my video the other day. I don't think we'll be able to run on them, even with Hassan. We may be able to, but I don't think so, not consistently. So on our offense, it's going to be on Cade. Can you consistently move the ball, which he can 20-20, but can you get it in the end zone? On defense, you got to slow down Clifford and Dotson. Like, you got to get pressure on Clifford so he don't have time to throw to Dotson. And if they do happen to give extra protection, all right, what type of coverage are you? Are you bracketing? Do you have a safety over the top of him? What are you going to do? So that's the game, really, to me. Whoever executes the passing game best, really, because I don't think they can run on us. Their run game ain't good to me.
No, they don't. They don't have much of a running game, at least not against teams with an actual rushing defense, which I think Michigan's rush defense, the numbers are a little skewed because of the Kenneth Walker game, but I still think they don't have that. They don't have that guy over there. Mm-hmm. So they don't even have an offensive line that's capable of doing that from what I've seen so far this season. So most of the games that I saw with Penn State that were close, right? I watched the Auburn game with them. I watched the second half of the Penn State game, and I watched Iowa, I think it is. And the thing that really struck me about them is that in times past, I always worried about Penn State being more explosive than us. The Saquon Barkleys, the Trace McSorleys, those guys really, and they have one of those guys over there. They do have Jahan Dotson. It just feels like it's Jahan Dotson or bust, right? Like you can't even really depend on Sean Clifford. And so if you're telling me, right, for Penn State to be successful, they have to stop our rushing game, which is tops in the Big Ten, right? They also have to stop our passing game, which has been much maligned, but I think is a lot more efficient than people give it credit for, except for in the red zone.
It's a good dink and dunk. Like, he'll dink and dunk you down the field.
For sure. It matches well with what we do in the running game, right? It's what you have to do passing the ball if you're going to be that heavy of a running team. The deciding factor to me is not so much the passing game overall, but in the red zone, in them 20s. We one of the best teams in the nation in between the 20s.
Yeah, 20 to
right?
20, we're moving the ball consistently and good. That's why we get picked in most games, because our offense is so consistent.
Yep.
This is one of them games. Red zone, we're going to have to get touchdowns. And Aiden, Ojabo, Dax Hill, all these dudes that came back. What's the linebacker?
Who's Ross? Josh Ross?
Ross. The defense, I got faith in the defense, but it's just like you got to continue to make those plays. And like, what are they going to – I'm kind of anxious to see what they do on the back end. I want to see us run – I would love to see us in zone all the time, because to be OSU, you're going to have to do that. Like, you're going to have to be in zone a lot of the time, and you got Aiden and Ojabo. Go get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get them.
Yeah.
And Penn State's defense they nasty. They got a nastiness to them. When they were playing Ohio State, I was like, damn, them dudes just looks.
They good.
Playing with an anger and a nastiness to them. I was like, hey, I like that. But
here's the thing we not considering though with Penn State. When they played that game versus Ohio State, that was for the season. Yeah, that was for the season.
But they're not in it no more. Teams don't want to let us win anytime.
You right. Toledo will come in here and play like it's their last game ever,
because they can ruin our season.
You right. But and I was talking to my dad about this when I was talking to him about the game. I feel like spoiler energy is much less lethal than, damn, if we lose this game, our season is over with in it.
That's
you know what I mean?
True.
Like, I fear a team trying to spoil you, but we played football before. Everybody here you played football before, right, John? Mm-hmm. Like, when your coach come to you and you start talking about you spoiling another team's season, it's gonna be players on the team that internalize that and take to it and play better because of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of them ain't. A lot of them is not feeling it at that point. You know, they're not feeling that. Right. All right, let's go out here and take it away from them. It's not the same. Us playing for a championship is different.
You're right. It's only like that if you were already expected to be a bad team.
There you go.
And now you can get that top 10 win over Michigan.
Yeah.
So I mean, we Michigan, so we get everybody's best punch like we've been winning like Ohio State or something. That's who needs to be getting the best punch. Y'all be trying to punch us in the mouth like
bruh. I'm sitting up there looking at like Nebraska. I'm like, Nebraska, now listen. Now y'all at least got the 28 versus us. Y'all at least had 2 drives where y'all looked like y'all was competent as an offense. I'm sitting up here looking at Taylor Martinez like, man, just score. Just take the lead. Just get in front, and every time they had a chance to do it, you know, they did when Nebraska do. But all in all, with the Penn State game, I feel like if we can score touchdowns in the red zone, that's number one, right? And keep Jahan Dotson from going Randy Moss, I feel like there's not much Penn State's going to be able to do after that to stay in the game. To be honest, like they'll be competitive, they have talent, but they can't score prolifically like they have in years past. The running game's not there, and while the defense has performed, they will give up some plays. So I got Michigan by 10. What you think, Josh? Who you got?
Well, look, as much as I want to give it to Penn State, I got to give it to Michigan, but only because I think James Franklin probably thinks he's playing the Hoosiers in Camp Randall. So, you know, I don't think I can give it to him in that case. Y'all got any other college football takes?
Nah, man, Johnny, I definitely appreciate you coming on, bro. Spending some time with us. Love to have you back on anytime, bro.
No problem, bro. I appreciate it. If y'all want to just let me know, because I usually do my show by myself or whatever. You know, that gets kind of old talking to myself, kind of talking to myself. So just let me know, because I could talk about college football all day.
All day.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Definitely
well,
be looking to do that with you.
For sure. Definitely be reaching out.
Yes, sir.
Johnny Olden page on YouTube. Any other socials you want me to shout out?
Yeah, that's it. That's it, really.
Johnny
just
Olden.
YouTube.
Got you.
We'll definitely tag it and leave a link in the description too.
I appreciate it, y'all.
No problem, man. Appreciate having you.
All right.
Peace.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Bucks.
Nah, man. Boo.
Y'all just had to wait to the end and finally start trying to jump me. All right, I see how it is.
Hey. Where y'all going? Where y'all going? You a legend.
Thanks for watching another Back of the Bus Squad episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Want to check out another episode related to this, go ahead and click that video to the left.
And if you want to catch up on some of our other episodes, make sure you click the playlist below.